precious ones. I know your heart, like my heart, is constantly filled with different kinds of passions and compassion. And for me, with the mission of compassion and hope and rescuing and restoring and healing these precious, vulnerable ones that are being rescued into our homes of hope, or the persecuted families that we've been helping. There's such a sadness and a burden and a grieving for the pain and suffering that they're going through. But there also is the joy that by God's grace, with you and I laboring together with Him and praying together and loving together and giving together, we can make an eternal and significant difference in every one of these families' lives that are being persecuted, and in every one of these precious little ones that are being rescued into the homes of hope. Just recently, we are developing at one of our locations in a home of hope for babies, yes, babies that are a day old or a week old or a month old. Our relationship there with the government has grown, and they have great sense of we being trustworthy in how we have dealt with a few babies in the past. Just a recent story that's developing right now. A mother, in whom I have compassion for, has been selling herself for numbers of years. And in her language, she said, I made a mistake and I got pregnant and I don't want this baby. But the government, having no real way of dealing with a baby like this, trying to convince her to keep that baby, brought her to the hospital. She had the baby, but because in her heart she didn't want the baby, didn't care for the baby, she slipped out in the night and left the baby in the hospital. The government, again, not knowing any way that they could actually really be helpful to this baby, invited her back, put the baby in her arms and said, we'll help you if you'll take this baby. She left the hospital. Within hours, the baby was found. She had abandoned the baby out at a rice field. This poor little baby, priceless, created in the image of God, a treasure, was laying there now just simply to die. Thank God she was found. Thank God for our home of hope there and our leaders there that have this heart that said, we will take her. As they were approached and asked, would you take this little baby? They said yes. How could we have said no? But one of the reasons why we can say yes is because you, my precious brother and sister, are with us. There's not just one of us, it's an us together. And that's a real passion in my heart as we come to the year end. And that is, it's amazing what God's people can do if everyone does what they can. If everyone would love and everyone would pray and simply obey God in their giving. Can you imagine what we could do in these lives of these precious ones if every brother and sister gave something? Our goal at the end of the year is $350,000. Some of those funds will go to the daily needs of boys and girls in the homes of hope. Some will go to the persecuted church. Some will go to help build or remodel or maintain some of our present homes of hope. And some of that will go to the education of these children. For example, in Posai, Thailand, we're building a middle school. We have a preschool there, an elementary school, and now we're building a preschool where there are dozens and dozens of children living on campus. It's an impoverished area. It's an area that darkness without Christ. And as we can minister to the children in our own homes as well as in the community there, we have an opportunity to show the love of God, to show the power of the gospel, and the light will grow brighter through this educational place, a Christian education for these children. Specifically, that building is $150,000. We have a $75,000 matching gift already toward that. If you and I can give that other $75,000, we can enter in to January 1, 2026 with the funds to say, now we can finish and complete and begin this middle school building. All the areas have some matching funds. So your dollar becomes two when you give into this $350,000 goal. My precious friend, my brother and sister, as I sat at that meal and said, how can I eat this wonderful meal? If we had said no to this baby, I couldn't. It would be, to me, it would almost be immoral for me to be sitting eating a wonderful meal and had said no to this precious life, this precious one. So I'm asking you, as God has blessed us, and we will enjoy the Christmas season, worshiping God and our family and our meals and our beautiful homes and the knowledge of Jesus Christ, how can we have this beautiful life in God's provision and say no to helping? So please, my friend, pray, seek the Lord, ask the Lord, God, what would you want us to give in the year in, and invest into the mission of CHF, into the mission of rescuing, restoring, and healing, and giving these precious little ones a future full of hope and actually beyond their belief. We can do this together. My precious ones, we love you. Thank God for you.